Live from the City of Entertainment, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's time for our main event of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions and King Vision in association with Showtime Event Television, the MGM Grand and Gold Premium Beer. This bout coming away is sanctioned and directed under the auspices of the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, representing the WBA, Dr. Elias Cordova, Supervisor Leonard Nipper Reed, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Carasali, Lorenzo Fertitta, Luther Mack, and Dr. James Nave. The executive director, Mark Ratner. Physicians at ringside, we have Doctors Flip Omansky, James Game, Al Capana, and Robert Voy. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Jane Broadfoot and James Cavan. And our judges scoring this bout from ringside, who will determine the outcome should we go to a decision, Dwayne, Chuck Jump, and Jerry Roth. All right, fans, here we go. The time has come. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it is showtime! With the WBA Heavyweight Championship of the World scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout, the third man in the ring working in this, his 96th world title bout, Mills Lane. Presenting to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing his traditional black trunks and hailing from Catskill, New York. He weighed in at a ready 218 pounds with a record of 45 wins, 2 losses. He has 39 big wins coming by way of knockout. The youngest man ever to win the heavyweight title. He is looking to exact his revenge and regain his championship tonight. Challenging for his third heavyweight crown, here is the current WBA #1 contender, one of the great powers of heavyweight history, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Iron Mike Tyson. And his opponent across the ring in the red corner, presenting the defending world champion, wearing purple trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in the same weight as his opponent, 218 pounds, with a record of 33 wins, 3 losses. He has 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome only the second man in history to have captured the heavyweight crown 3 times, the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here is boxing's warrior spirit, the current WBA heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Evander, the real deal, Holyfield. Once again, our referee in charge, Mills Lane, now to give instructions.
Grease off, Richie. Take the grease off the side. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now, gentlemen, we've gone through all the instructions in the dressing room. Okay, step back, Richie. Now, look here. Right here. If he goes right here, I'm not going to call it low, okay? If he goes right here, I'm not going to call it low. Now, I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions from the challenger, chief second. Any question from the champion, chief second. Let's get it on.
The waiting is over. The talking is done. The rematch is here. Evander Holyfield, confident, relaxed, cool. He says, He doesn't look for the Tyson he fought November 9th. He thinks Tyson will be more aggressive, which he feels plays into his hands. Mike Tyson predicting a sensational victory. The sense of anticipation as before the first fight is almost palpable. Here we go, fight 2, round 1. A straight right by Mike Tyson, shrugged off by Evander Holyfield.
Mike came in with the same thing, a 1-2, looking to go over the jab.
And a lot of movement by Tyson, which we did not see in the first fight.
Well, Giacchetti said he's going to be bobbing, weaving, he's going to be jabbing. Well, he certainly started out jabbing and then throwing a right afterwards. So let's see if we see improvement in the offense of Mike Tyson.
I think you can sense the amount of respect here, too, by both fighters.
And some wrestling tactics as they come together. Look at the look on Tyson's face as he goes eye to eye with Holyfield. Mills Lane.
Come on.
A wild swing and a miss with an overhand right by Tyson.
It's interesting to see who's going to push who back. Giacchetti said, I'm going to let this guy get pushed back. Right
Glanced
now,
off the side of Holyfield's head, an overhand right by Tyson.
You know what Mike's doing? Mike's looking to duck and keep his leverage low and come up banging. I notice he doesn't want to go backwards. And Evander right now he's picking his spots, but he's looking for something.
Mills Lane jumping in there, trying not to have Holyfield clutch and grab.
But Holyfield's coming in low. That last time he was standing straight up. Now when he rushes in, he's rushing in low, so you can't just grab him. See that little waltz? Now who went backwards? Evander Holyfield went backwards.
In the first fight, it was Tyson going backwards, and he can't fight that way. Left hooks by Evander Holyfield. Holyfield measuring Tyson out now with the left jab. Looking to set up the right. There it is. Right on the top of
Evander Holyfield's trying to employ that strategy too, Steve. He's trying to push Mike back, starting it right now, setting the tone.
Step back, come on. One step back. Come on, here.
Under a minute remaining in the opening round.
Right there, when Mike goes to come in, Evander ties him up. Mike cannot allow it. He's got to have some punches being on the way. They have to be en route before he gets that close.
Combination to the head. Evander Holyfield. Back comes Tyson with a left hook to the head of Holyfield.
He hurt Mike really good with that right hand. And I'll tell you what, though, Mike hit him back with a left hook. This is going to be a war.
What a first round.
He was in trouble there. He shook Tyson. He shook him.
Straight left by Holyfield.
Come on.
The chance at Holyfield start early. They started in the 6th round of the first.
Here, Stacy. Just take your time. Take your time. Okay? Okay, stay with the jab. Stay with the jab. See, when you're stiff jabbing, good. I want you now jab for the throat. Jabbing for the throat. You're moving good. Keep off the center. Keep moving and punch. You got to punch. Don't wait on him. Don't let him
Take
get
a
off
look
you.
at how Tyson got in trouble. Whang! They went that punch. That wasn't the one that got him in trouble. That wasn't the clear punch that got him in trouble. There's a punch to the side that's not much, and again, the struggle. Let's look at it again. Bobby.
You'll see a right hand a little later in the round. There's the right hand. That's the one that got him in trouble. Right in the button. And he got Mike on the heels. Got him on his heels. Mike's not going forward.
Bad intentions on the punches from both fighters in round 1 from the very first second.
Evander Holyfield makes his point in the first round.
Yeah, and he looks much more confident in the way he punches. He almost has the confidence. I'm going to hit this guy when I want to, and then it's going to hurt him. I wonder what that did to Tyson's confidence.
Holyfield picking up where he left off with the crowd behind him. 220 at his best combination. Again, more head movement from Tyson. Something we didn't see in the first fight. He looks over to Mills Lane. It's a cut around the right eye of Mike Tyson from a clash of heads, I believe.
That's just what happened. And Mike said, what about this butting? What about this head?
That's a butt.
Deja vu.
Catch the breath. Here we go. Time in, let's go.
Look at the blood streaking down the outer portions of the right eye of Tyson.
What a terrible thing and what an anticlimactic way to have this fight unfold.
Oh, they didn't go. Come on, Ben.
Well, it should spur Tyson to a big effort.
It's the same eye that was cut while he was sparring that postponed the rematch date of May 3rd, but we're not sure if it's the exact same cut that reopened.
Well, one thing is different. He has now got pressure on him, and he's just started this fight.
And again, just like in the first fight, Tyson looks over for help from the referee.
I think he was complaining about a low blow there. I didn't see a blow go south of the border, but that's what he's complaining about, I think.
And there's Evander Holyfield mauling and pushing him around to the ropes.
If an accidental foul occurs before the end of the fourth round, the fighters ruled a technical draw. After the end of the fourth, they go to the card. Holyfield digging in with uppercuts to the body, now going upstairs, looking for the cut.
Evander is beating Mike to the punch, and he's making Mike pay. When Mike comes in, he smothers his shots, and he counters well, and Mike doesn't counter the counter.
What Mike is doing, though, is at least he's crouching down a lot more than he did before, and those punches are going over where they were landing last time.
And that cut over the right eye is fairly deep. I just got a pretty good glance at it. Pushing into the ropes by Holyfield.
Holyfield showing he's stronger. Again, he's pushing him around like a rag doll. That's not good.
Hey, don't take it. Come here. You know better than that. All right? Let's go. Come on.
Mills Lane taking charge. Over the top.
Mike throwing a nice right hand, but you see he's not following up with the combination. It's got to be 2 and 3. It can't be one at a time, Steve. That's not the way to get this one done.
And Tyson really beginning to look frustrated now as they continue to dance around, holding on to one another.
That one punch at a time, Bob, you referred to, just happened right then again. If he doesn't do better than that, this is going to be the same thing as the last time.
Don't forget Tyson with a plastic surgeon in his corner. And he's going to need it.
I'm sorry. Okay. You're fine, Mike.
Yes, he is, buddy. Hey, buddy. All right, settle down.
Okay, you're fine, Mike. No problem.
Vaseline on here, buddy.
Spit it out.
I need a towel.
Give me a towel, guys.
Stay with the jab.
Let me take a look.
Go underneath, right?
Give me a look.
Can I hold pressure on it longer?
Here you see Evander coming in, and the head just winds up slamming into Mike's eye. And unfortunately, it's a cut already. Wasn't a big deal, but I'm sure he didn't mean it, but his head was down. Another look at it, Evander just kind of dives. There it is, right there. Puts his head down and comes straight in and hits Mike right in the corner of his right eye.
Bad luck.
Dr. Ira Trocchi telling Tyson he's fine, but that may be wishful thinking. But before the bell for round 3, Tyson comes out fast but forgot his mouthpiece.
He's anxious to get this on. I think he's blown the first 2 rounds, and he better get started.
Round 2 very bad for Tyson with that bad cut. Pushed away by Holyfield. Again showing his strength. A sense of urgency here by Mike Tyson.
And that's the old Tyson we know.
That's the Mike Tyson that came. That's the Mike Tyson that needed to come.
A ferocious Mike Tyson. Bobbing and weaving.
If he can keep that up for the whole round, he could even this thing out as far as intentions. He's got to show he's got it. He's got to bring it.
He has to reverse what's going on here. Momentum still with Evander.
And the crowd really picking up now.
All right, let's step back. Come on, come on. Let him go, buddy. Come on.
A frantic pace. Listen. The crowd is turning. Many yelling Tyson. A swing and a miss with a straight right by Holyfield. Good duck under move by Tyson.
But Tyson's still throwing more right hands than he's normally used to doing over the top. He has seen something in the tapes. It's not effective yet, but he is working on it.
Will we see his lethal left hook soon? Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestling early in round 3.
Nice right hand by Mike. He is trying to get that right hand home.
They seemingly are relying on one big shot.
There you see Evander put that arm around Mike's left hook arm again, walking him off. Doesn't want to get hit with that bomb on the inside.
Ooh, a low blow by Holyfield with the left hook, and Mills Lane gives him an earful. Back comes Tyson on the belt. Tyson with a short left hook to the head of Holyfield. A right hand by Mike Tyson to the head of Holyfield, a straight right.
The left hook got his attention, then he came back with a nice 1-2, a left hook and a right hand, and Holyfield looked like he was stunned.
But what a chin by Holyfield.
Good stiff jab.
That's the jab Mike didn't have in the first fight.
What happened here?
He got bit, I think.
Evander Holyfield, look out, he's pushed right here, above us by Tyson.
He's got bit in the ear.
Oh my goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Well, first he had a parachute drop on him, now he had a heavyweight bite him.
I wonder if we can get that on tape.
Biting Holyfield in the right ear. What a reaction.
Well, and he certainly, that hurts like hell, but he certainly had a big bite. And that's a dangerous bite.
Oh, disgusting tactics here by Mike Tyson. We understand 1 point has been deducted from Tyson for that vicious exhibition.
Now, they could disqualify him, but they've taken a point. Sure. Oh, here comes the commissioner now. They got to figure it out.
Well, this is the doctor and the commissioner both taking a look at it.
He bit his ear. He's out. Disqualified. He bit his ear. I can see the bite mark.
Okay. He bit his ear. He's out.
Telling Mark Ratner, head of the commission.
Well, let me ask the doc. He bit his ear. Can he go on?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be a 2-point deduction. The fight will go on. 2 point.
Mills Lane was ready to stop the fight for Holyfield.
The fight will go on.
Overruled by Flip Pomansky, the doctor, who said
Mills Lane is a take charge kind of guy. He's a judge. He'll take no nonsense.
He was bullshit. It's going to cost him 2 points. 2 points. 2 points off here. He bit his ear. 2 points off. 2.
Can you believe this?
Oh, boy, this is getting stranger and stranger. We're getting to see strange things happen in boxing.
We go back to the change of referees.
I wonder how this would have played in Mitch Halpern's eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a thought, Bobby. You got a big, tough judge here.
Major controversy here in round 3. A very angry Evander Holyfield now. A left hook.
You know, it's funny. Mike was having his best
He bit him again. He bit him again.
Mike Tyson has bitten Evander Holyfield for the second time, and it is all-out war.
I saw that one. That was right clear. It's a miracle he didn't get bit back.
I'll tell you what, this is unbelievable.
Let's take 2 looks at that one. At that bite. Now here's the bite. Keep your eye on Mike. See, Mike has just look at him. You can see it. You can see it. There it is.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, fellas.
Bobby.
They're going in real slow motion. Mike gets in a headlock. And look at this. He just reaches in and bites him.
It's over. It's over. During that replay, Mills Lane signaling that it's over. I think they've just about had enough. Tyson showing desperation in fighting Holyfield 2 times. Look out now. Tyson's trying to get at Holyfield again, I believe. It is complete bedlam, and Tyson is just taking swipes at anybody in front of him.
The police are coming in by the squad here, and they're still fighting in there.
It's a fiasco in the ring. People are jumping above us, trying to get in there. There's the security trying to hold Tyson back.
This is the most unbelievable spectacle I have ever seen. The first one was an amazing feat. The second one is disastrous.
It's just impossible to conceive.
Tyson's bodyguard fighting with the security. The crowd in stunned disbelief here.
I'm beginning more and more to believe Tyson is a confused individual. He is.
I think it goes beyond confused, Ferdy. I think it goes beyond confused. I can't understand it. Mike was having his best round. He was getting to Evander. He hit him with some great shots. The right hand got through the hook. Don't know what happened. Let's take a look at the second bite. Now he'd already bitten the man once.
It's impossible to believe this happened again, but it did. Just keep your eyes on Mike's mouth as much as you can, because you will see it. Now you see he's got his hand, he's got this right there. He's got his mouth on it. See it? See it? It's a shark bite right there. That is incredible. Look at the reaction again from Holyfield. He can't believe it. He got the second one on the other side.
You know what? If I were Evander, I would have kicked him. I don't know what held him back.
Let's
look at it again.
Bobby.
Watch Mike. Come inside. This is the second bite of the round. Right on Evander's ear.
It's like Dracula time. I've never seen anything like this in boxing.
I can't understand it. I'm sure there will be suspensions and bans galore.
What a wild scene here at the MGM Grand. Just a shame that it has to come to a conclusion in this fashion. Mike Tyson resorting to biting tactics, and he still wants more as he's being held back by Richie Giacchetti. Just an awful display here by Tyson.
I'm nothing short of shocked, Steve. I am speechless. I have no response for what I've just witnessed.
Mike Tyson has apparently lost his reason, his rationale. He seems possessed right now. He cannot be brought under control. It is just bedlam above us. People stepping on our table, trying to break into the clear. You can see, of course, what's going on in the ring.
Mike is still being restrained.
Has Holyfield been ushered out of the ring? I can't even see him.
Holyfield just came past us, Steve. He is out of the ring. He is clear.
Let's go over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Albert. Steve, thank you very much. I have Mills Lane. Mills, why did you stop the fight? Because of the first bite on the ear or the second?
The second one. The first one was a foul. I took 2 points. The doctor said he could continue. So let it continue. And he beat him on the other ear. I told him, I said, one more time like that, it's it. You're gone. I told them both. Knocked the rough stuff off. And he bit him again. I said, that's it. You're gone.
As Holyfield leaves the ring, the condition of the ear, could he have continued? And did you disqualify him because of the foul or because he couldn't continue?
Oh, no, I disqualified Tyson for the second foul. I told him, do not do that again. If you do, you're gone.
So he could have continued. The physical condition of Evander Holyfield was such a view that he could have continued had he not disqualified Tyson.
Well, I didn't ask the doctor. I never reached that point. I wasn't going to ask the doctor. That wasn't a question. That kind of foul, I mean, you got to take a position sometime, somewhere. That was it.
Pandemonium breaking out here as Mike Tyson is leaving the ring, and we'll continue with Mills Lang. As you see, people getting knocked over. Our camera goes down. Mills, let me continue here. Mike Tyson's people and Tyson are going to say, I'm sure you didn't call a foul on the headbutt, which caused the eye, and this could have been a retaliation by Tyson.
I called it a butt.
But you didn't take a point.
An unintentional butt, you don't take a point. An unintentional butt, unless it occurs the second time. An unintentional butt, that if the fight stops, you go to the scorecards after 4 rounds. There's a difference between an unintentional butt and a bite.
Do you feel as though that's what Tyson was doing, however, that he was retaliating?
I do not know. You'll have to ask him. I don't speculate. I do not know the answer to that.
Obviously, disappointment, Mills. Got to be disappointing for you to have it come to a conclusion like this as well.
You know, you play the hand you dealt and do the best you can with the cards. That's all I can tell you.
All right, Mills Lane, thank you for your time. Let's send it back now to Steve Albert.
Thank you,
Do you
Jim.
want me to go in the locker room?
We're trying to get an interview with Evander Holyfield. Love to hear his reaction. Why should Holyfield even ever have to fight Tyson again after this terrible display by Mike Tyson?
Steve, it's unbelievable. I don't believe Evander would ever sign to fight Mike again. I don't think that it would be an issue any longer. It's not about the fight. It's just about it being real personal. That's beyond boxing.
This crowd still stunned. Everybody just standing around in disbelief. Holyfield never even had a chance to prove that the first fight was no fluke.
Will the people pay to see Mike Tyson fight again? Will they support him through this? This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen, Steve.
He just totally lost all reason.
You know, fighting's a very, very, very difficult game, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And we saw what happened to Oliver McCall some time ago. He just temporarily snapped, and evidently Mike has for a little bit here himself.
Evander Holyfield defends his title in most unorthodox fashion. People still milling around after this debacle. In round 3, referee Mills Lane deducted 2 points for that intentional foul. And then he stopped the fight after the second biting attack by Mike Tyson. We're still trying to get back there to get Evander Holyfield, but it's a terrible scene here because several of our camera people have been knocked around like rag dolls, their equipment damaged. And so we're trying to recuperate, regroup, and try to get some equipment and a person back there. Oh, we understand now. Ferdy Pacheco is ready with Evander Holyfield.
Go ahead. All right, Evander Holyfield. 2 bites on each side. 1 piece is missing out of your plastic surgeon said. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, I had to give praise to the Lord. You know, Jesus, Lord, you know, I'm still the champ. He still get the glory. And, you know, the things that happened, it didn't have to happen. You know, I was beating him, and, you know, he spit out of my mouthpiece and bit me in the ear.
Is that the act of a crazed man? Because to beat you twice, I mean, to bite you twice is a little crazy.
Well, you know, the whole thing is that, you know, in the first one, you know, my corner, you know, told me to just keep cool. And I thought about that, you know, a distraction would happen, and his prophets told me to, you know, just breathe deep and just concentrate on Jesus. Then I went back out there again, and I caught him with good shots, and he bit my ear on purpose again.
But how can he bite your ear with a mouthpiece? Spit it out and then
he spit the mouthpiece out. He spit the mouthpiece out and bit me on the ear. On the last time, you know, the whole thing is that, you know, really, the only chance that he thought he could is just to go. My whole thing is that, you know, the whole thing is my ear bleeding, and this guy continued to foul. You know, I'm thankful that we have a referee like Mill Lane see the situation that this thing is intention. And, you know, it's just amazing when.
Would this rule out a rematch? It's stupid to ask you right now for a rematch. This guy went and lost his marbles. Is a rematch possible, or are you so mad you wouldn't even think about that?
Well, you know, the whole thing is that, you know, I have to concentrate and I have to think, you know, have to think about the situation, because the big thing is to you know, a rules and regulation, mandatory things, but the rules, you got to understand when a person deliberately bites you constantly and trying to break my arm, because, you know, in the corner, he's just doing illegal tactics. You know, Mill Lane said, you don't break. You know, the whole thing is that, I mean, it's just an easy way to get out of the fight, the foul, because you know you're going to get disqualified instead of fighting through. I'm saying that don't show no courage whatsoever. Everybody know how to get out of the fight. All you got to do is foul. You'll get yourself out. Then you can say, well, he didn't beat me.
Would you say this is an act of a desperate man? Would you say he was desperate in there? Is that the word you think, to cause a guy to do something so unusual?
Well, just the whole thing is that, you know, I truly believe that fear itself calls people to do the easiest thing, the quickest thing to get out. I'm saying the whole thing is that we're in a fight already. So why do you have to bite somebody? If you feel that you can whoop me, why you can't whoop me with the gloves on? This is a boxing match. This is not a rumble. When the fight is over, then you get brave and you really want to fight. I'm saying you had a chance to fight. You know, why you got to bite me on my ear? The whole thing is that, you know, it's not real. You know, my whole thing is that I just give praise to the Lord that it's not worse than it is. I thought my ear had fell off.
Well, your plastic surgeon here says a piece is missing out of your ear, which means you'll have to have a plastic repair, and either ear, since human bites are so dangerous, have to be taken care of tonight at the hospital.
I look forward to going to the hospital. Good thing I got a doctor.
All right, good. I mean, remarkable. Let's go to Gray.
All right, thank you, Ferdy. We are outside of Mike Tyson's locker room. There is utter pandemonium going on here. Finally, a little bit of some quiet. John Horn, the co-manager of Mike Tyson, joins us right now. John, this is a scene like we have never seen before. It was totally out of control. What is the situation inside of that locker room, and can you ascertain why Mike bit Evander?
Well, I'm not going to even comment on that until I see what really happened, but all I know is this. Evander has been headbutting Mike for 2 fights. Headbutting is a foul, a complete foul, but it's been happening so often, so long, that when a person headbutts another person, cuts both of their eyes, it becomes a common thing, and it's okay to let that go.
Was this a retaliation?
No, Evander turned it into a street fight a long time ago. A long time ago, and I'm not going to even get off until I understand everything and see what happened. And all I know is Mike got a cut over his eye, 3 inches long. Evander got a little nip on his ear that don't mean nothing.
Mike
and
wanted
that's the bottom line. He jumped around like a little bitch. That's what he did. Okay, now Mike didn't do nothing. Mike didn't complain. He didn't say nothing. He didn't ask the man to stop the fight because headbutt's been going on so long. It's okay, but it's a foul.
You can't bite anybody, regardless.
I didn't say he bit nobody. I said when I look at everything, Woods determined.
Well, it's
very clear. Mike got a 3-inch cut over his eye. It's not for a punch. Okay, so therefore, what can I say?
One is accidental, and it
no,
appears
come
as
on, please. One headbutt may be accidental. 15 is not.
What would you have liked to have seen done by Mills Lane? This was the referee of your choice. I would like to see him let the
fight go. The ear ain't got nothing to do with his fight.
He got a little cut on the ear, man.
The ear ain't got nothing to do with the fight. Ain't got nothing to do with his arms, his legs, his hand, his body, nothing.
You don't need to scream at me. You don't need to scream at me.
Mike got a cut over his eye.
Okay.
Mike got a 3-inch cut over his eye. That the blood will penetrate to his eye, blur his vision, and everything. Now, I understand
Mills Lane, let me clarify it for you, since you don't know what Mills Lane has said does. Mills Lane said he didn't disqualify him for the first bite because he was willing to let that go with a 2-point deduction. The second bite, however, at the end of the round is what he said he had just had enough.
Well, I have to see everything involved first. I can't comment on no bite or whatever the case may be. All I know is Mike got a 3-inch gash over his eye.
Are you unhappy with the referee, Mills Lane?
Not at all. Okay. Has nothing, no, not at all. I'm unhappy with all the headbutts and stuff for 2 fights. Mike done been cut 4 times by this guy, neither time by a punch. Now you tell me what that is. That's all I know. Everything else I'm gonna have to see about, I'm gonna have to go over. I don't know nothing about that. But he turned it into a street fight a long time ago.
The tapes clearly show that, I'm being told, in the first fight that Mike caused the butts, and that was ascertained. In this one, it was an accidental butt, although it appeared, what would you have liked to have seen done at that moment? It's too late after the fact to bite somebody. What would you have liked to have seen at that time?
All I know is this. There was nothing wrong with Evander Holyfield that would have kept him from performing. That's all I know. Okay. So I can't comment on
But you're not unhappy with the referee? This was your referee?
No, I'm not unhappy because I don't even know all the terms yet. Everything happened so quickly, I don't even know all the conditions. All I know is my fighter got a 3-inch cut over his eye.
Okay. Can we talk to Mike Tyson?
No, not right now. Mike has a 3-inch cut he has to take care of. Thank you very much.
Okay, John. Don King. Obviously, not the way that anybody expected that this was going to go. Very disappointing to everybody who bought the fight and those in attendance here. Your thoughts on this disqualification?
Well, I think that the headbutts was there, and I think that when he had the headbutts, and as he had headbutts prior to that, it should have been some type of a point taken away or something to to acknowledge these headbutts, because this was said so priorly before the fight started, to watch the headbutts. You know what I mean? And so it's very difficult when two athletes are fighting. You know what I mean? And things can happen, but these headbutts seemingly...
Don, but the fact of the matter is the headbutts, yes, it is a problem. Everybody will acknowledge that Holyfield was in violation with the headbutts. The proper reaction, however, is not to bite, correct?
Well, the proper reaction is not to bite. You know what I mean? But I guess when a guy feels that he's pleading with the referee to give him some consideration and he don't get the consideration, then he just goes beyond reason. I mean, you must be able to deal with reason and practicality, but you got two athletes in there, highly passionate, very hot, ready to fight, and fight they were doing. The fight was just beginning. I don't know why it would be stopped.
What? Well, because Holyfield, it was determined by Mills Lane. Well, let me stop you right there before we go on to that. You're saying Mills Lane should not have stopped the fight on the second bite?
No, when Holyfield got bitten, Mills Lane said he took a point from Mike Tyson.
Then a second point.
And what of the second point?
And then at the end of the round, Mills Lane has said that Tyson bit him on the other ear, which in this instance I believe would be the left ear. 2 bites on the ear.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment on that.
That's why he disqualified him.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to see that before I make any comments. I don't want to be irrational.
Okay, let's move on. Where does this leave Mike Tyson and his career, and will there be a third bout between these two, and do you think you could ever put anything like that together?
Well, I want to find out first the facts, and then after you find out the facts, you see what you can do. I think that when a fighter like Mike Tyson or Holyfield find that they're being wrong and they're not getting the consideration that they think they should have, then they try to take it in their own hands, and that's not always the right thing to do. But nevertheless, that's what's been done when you have people out there that's in this type of atmosphere and climate, and it looked like they were just beginning to fight.
Could you ever, do you feel, convince Holyfield to take this fight again?
I don't know. I don't know whether I can or not until we find out what all of the evidence is and find out what is happening, what actually happened. You know what I mean? I'm just like a fan as anyone else at this particular time.
It'd be a terrible disappointment if there wasn't another, correct?
Yeah, it certainly would be, because these guys certainly don't prove that they're two good athletes, but they got to be able to fight, and they want to fight, and it looked like that's what they were doing. I didn't know. I thought after the points was taken, that was the punishment meted out for whatever the error was in Mike Tyson. What happened after that, I don't know, because when he sat down, the bell rang, they went to their corners, I thought they was coming back out to fight, and all of a sudden it was a DQ.
I know you don't make this decision, but should these fighters be paid for this evening's work? There's some $60-some-odd million who went out tonight, out of your pocket.
Yes, they should be paid. They came and they fought. You know what I mean? Boxing is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen in a boxing match. That's what makes it so great. But the fact of the matter is, well, I think we should first try to find out what happened before we start making judgment.
What do you say to the folks who bought the fight, who are terribly disappointed, who are watching this right now?
I'm disappointed myself because of the outcome. I want to see this fight go to the finale. You know what I mean? This was the Sound and the Fury. It was something that everybody purported and recognized as going to be a great event. And then here comes the headbutts, and then here comes the retaliation for the headbutts. But after you get taking the points from the man, I just think that they should have been able to fight. If you get a headbutt or a low blow, you get 5 minutes to recuperate. I think it should have took another step to say, give them 5 minutes to recuperate or something, to let these people get their money's worth and be able to deal with this fight.
As the man in charge of this show, I got to put you on the spot right here. What will you do in the upcoming moments to make sure that we have a word with Mike Tyson before we leave the air?
Well, I'm going to do everything I can to talk to Mike Tyson, to let Mike Tyson tell his side of the story. I think it's only fair and proper that he should do that, and I would do everything I can to get him to do that. Also, would like to get to talk to the commission and find out what their judgment is on a situation of this type. And when this has happened, after you take the points, to come back and take the fight too. I don't understand it, so maybe they can explain it to me.
Well, as you say, only in America, and only in America, Steve Albert, would we have seen something quite like this tonight. We hope to have Mike Tyson shortly. Back out to you.
All right, Jim. Mike Tyson disqualified for biting both ears of Evander Holyfield in the third round. Let's just clean up some business before we talk here at ringside on camera. The online scoring, Holyfield ahead 3-0 over Tyson. In actuality, all 3 judges had Holyfield winning the first 2 rounds here at ringside. Tyson won the third, but had 2 points deducted, and then the WBA heavyweight championship was halted. Steve Albert back with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco and Bobby Ches, and I thought this was an inexcusable, despicable, illegal exhibition by Mike Tyson. What do you think, Ferdy?
I agree wholeheartedly. I think when you're hearing Don King trying to make the patch up, he didn't see the ears. I just came from examining his ears. One of them's got a chunk of flesh missing about a ½ inch off the crown. They're going to have to do plastic surgery, reconstruct that. It's out. It's a chunk of flesh out. That's not just a little bite. That is a wolf-like bite. I don't understand the second bite, and I understand why they disqualified him. I don't think anybody can make any justification or rationalization for something as bizarre as not one, but 2 bites. Something clicked inside of Mike's brain. We've been saying Mike Tyson's an unpredictable and confused young man. I don't think you can see any evidence of mental confusion and unpredictability more than we just saw there, with a fighter biting another fighter in the same round 2 times and taking a chunk out of his ear. I think, end of the story, this guy is one confused individual.
I'll open this up to the both of you, Ferdy and Bobby. Perhaps construed as an extreme statement, but is Mike Tyson's career over?
I don't think so, and I think his big aspiration to be considered one of the great heavyweights is gone. I don't care what he does, he's never going to be considered a great heavyweight. That he can fight and continue, yes. Okay, let's see if we can get
You're
Tyson.
hearing what I'm hearing. We've got Mike Tyson available for an interview right now. Let's go back over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Steve. I'm now joined by Mike Tyson. Mike, first of all, let's go in chronological order. The headbutt in the second round. Which opened the gash on your eye. Tell us about that first, please.
He butted me in the first round, but then he butted me again in the second round. Then as soon as he butted me, I watched him. He had me holding, and he looked right at me, and I saw him, and he was going for, and he kept going for it, and he butted me again. He kept going down and coming up, and he charged into me. And no one warned him. No one took any points for him. What am I to do? This is my career. I can't continue getting butted like that. I got children to raise, and this guy keeps butting me, trying to cut me and get me stopped on cut. I got to retaliate.
Now, immediately you stopped. You stopped fighting immediately right there, and you turned to Mills Lane and you said what? And the result was he did nothing. But what did you say to Mills right at that time?
I don't remember what I said. I told him that he butted me, but I know I complained about being butted, and we complained about the first fight. Listen, Holyfield is not the tough warrior everyone says he is. He got little nicks on him there, and he quit. I got an eye. I got one eye. I got one eye. He's not impaired. He got ears. I got one eye. Big deal. If he take one, I got another one. I'm ready to fight. He didn't want to fight. I'm ready to fight him right now.
Well, Mills Lane, no. Mills Lane stopped the fight. It wasn't Holyfield who stopped the fight.
Oh, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight.
Let me ask.
We don't know what Mills did. Don't put nothing on Mills.
Well, Mills said he stopped the fight. You bit him. Was that a retaliation for the eye when you bit him in his ear?
Regardless of what I did, he butted me for 2 fights.
But you got to address it, Mike. Why
I
did you bite him?
No, I did address it. I addressed it in the ring.
Why did you do that, though, Mike? I mean, was that the proper response?
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I got to go home and my kids are going to be scared of me. Look at me, man.
What are you going to do now in terms of your career, Mike? Will you continue to fight? Okay. That's the story from back here. Let's send it back out to you, Steve.
Of course, they're not going to get on Mills Lane. They're the ones that triggered the change. But let me ask you this. Does a headbutt warrant this kind of ridiculous retaliation?
A headbutt is an unfortunate side effect of this game. Getting punched, getting cut, getting butted, getting elbowed. Certainly some are more blatant than others. Some are bad, and some people do it consistently. I don't believe Evander tried. I believe Evander tried to keep his head down so he didn't get it taken off with those big whistling hooks that Mike was throwing. You have to get under Mike's big shots or you'll get hurt. The fact that he got butted. But, I cannot find an excuse anywhere in my system for biting him the first time, let alone the second time. And if he wasn't disqualified the second time, it would be impossible to justify that fight went on.
We just saw the sound of the fury, but the loser.
We saw a lot of sound. We certainly saw a lot of fury, but we didn't see what we wanted to see.
Do you think Tyson's career is history?
You know, the only people that can decide that isn't actually even Mike Tyson. It's the people. If the people will still support Mike and come out to watch him fight, that's one thing. This may take a lot of people and really turn him off badly, Steve.
We want to take a look right now at some of the infighting. Take a look at some of the clashing of heads. Here we go.
Well, the main difference here is, as you were speaking, occurred to me. This is an unintentional. There you see it. This is an unintentional thing, right? But a bite is an intentional thing. You think about it and you go and bite somebody.
Ferdy, the fact of the matter is, a serious intentional foul, a serious intentional blatant foul, you can be disqualified immediately. And here we'll see the first bite.
Now,
the referee has every authority to disqualify you immediately on something this blatant.
Watch, keep your eyes on Mike's mouth. That's where you're going to see the action. First, he's got to spit out the mouthpiece and then bite him. He didn't bite him with the mouthpiece. He wouldn't have caused that damage. The mouthpiece was bouncing on the floor about that time. In fact, it's over in Holyfield's corner right now.
I got news for you. The bottom of your teeth are not covered by the mouthpiece. He could have bit through with the bottom of his teeth.
No,
very clearly. I've been bit before in the ring with mouthpiece in and mouthpiece out.
But
it's
he
not
did
pleasant
spit it
at all.
in front. He spit it in front of us, and they picked it up on the other side. The mouthpiece is right now in Holyfield's dressing room. It's in the pocket of one of the managers over there.
Unbelievable. Let's take a look at the final bite that caused the disqualification.
As if the first one wasn't bad enough, Mike goes and gets the other ear. What? Not one, but two.
Look, see, this one is a minor one. The other one is a chunk of the ear out. If you photographed it, you wouldn't believe it right now. If somebody takes a picture of it, you won't believe what it looks like.
Great pictures, incidentally, from our camera people, our production crew here at the MGM Grand.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless, and I'm never speechless. I really don't know what to say.
I think it remains, to put it in perspective, a fighter who is possibly not the fighter he was before he went to prison. Now, he wasn't tested. Then Holyfield beat him. Then he was beating him again. Now he won 2 rounds, and he looked like he had the combination, and he didn't look like Mike Tyson of old. You know, we have never seen the Mike Tyson of old that was here before he went to prison. Since he came out, we have not seen that Mike Tyson. He fought easy fights, totally easy fights, and then when he got into a tough one, he lost it, got knocked out, and then he got into the tough one again, and he does this bizarre thing. When he was losing, he still had not looked like Mike Tyson, so we don't know what Mike Tyson we've got here. We still don't know whether that's the same fury that we had it before he went to jail. Up to this point, I leave it to my colleague, Bobby, to give his opinion. I don't think that's the same Tyson, Bob.
You know, he appeared to be the same Tyson when he fought Frank Bruno. He got back to moving the head, to banging the body, but Frank Bruno was so petrified, praying so hard before a fight, no one could tell he didn't offer to fight back. Bruce Seldon quit. Peter McNeely didn't count. Buster Mathis couldn't hurt him. So this was the first real man he faced. And unfortunately, the first time for Mike, he didn't make it through. He folded. And here, I can't even begin to tell you what he was thinking.
And after tonight, we may never see that Mike Tyson again.
We may. That's my point. He may have left everything in prison, and he's never going to be the Mike Tyson we had. He's not that furious, destroy kind of animal. He was confused again. Again, he resorted to something incomprehensible to any sane man, so that we don't know where we're at with him. There's a lot of economic pressures because he's got a big contract, and he's got Don King, and he's got everybody, and they will patch him back together, and we will see him fight again because it's an economic necessity.
I've just been told that Evander Holyfield just went into an ambulance on his way to a hospital. So Holyfield wins by disqualification in the 3rd round. A terrible display by Mike Tyson. That's it from ringside. Let's go back up to Jim Hill.